Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind Evident Terry's Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties of motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about dream interpretations. Yeah, we're going to, and I'm going to run through a few dreams, because I'm going to run through a few common dreams, because there's like common dreams out here that we all kind of have in common, because we all agree to certain terms and conditions in the world, which is the world we in, is the collective conscious. So for an example, we agree on certain terms, we agree on certain principles, agree on certain situations, circumstances at times, you know what I'm saying, agree to disagree. So all that develops in the astral realm. A lot of times when we dream, we end up having similar dreams, but the way we perceive these same similar, like we may watch a lot of the same movies, watch a lot of these same shows, but how we perceive what's going on is the key. Now, before we get into the actual dream interpretations, I need to explain how to initially interpret your dreams in the first place. So I'm not a type of person that's going to sit here and tell you your dream. I'm going to, because you experience that on your own. I like to tell people how to do it themselves. So I'm going to explain to you how to interpret your dreams. You see what I'm saying? So you can do this yourself. And then when we get into dream interpretations, and when I go live, we could talk about this. We could dive deep into this. Now, for the most part, when we're talking about interpreting the dreams first. Now, interpreting the dreams is to put you in a situation like this. Now, when you dreaming, you have to understand that you're within you. So the dream is all about you. So the people, places, and things. Hold on one second. I'm recording. Now, yeah, people, now the people, places, and things matter none. The people. Now, let me say that once again. The people, places, and things matters none in the circumstance of the situation. The only thing that matters is what you're feeling, the vibrations that you're going through. You see what I'm saying? Or the experience itself. So how you feel within that experience. That's the only things that matters. Now, the people, places, and things that's in it is just the color and the shape and the form that is taken. So I'm going to explain why that don't matter none. But for the most part, that's just the form it take. Because once you dream and go within and go in the astral realm and shit like that and go off, that's the shapeless and formless realm. So since your spirit, your soul is shapeless and formless, right? This is why you can go through walls or be in one scenario, then in a split second you're in another scenario. Because in 1 second you start seeing these shapes and forms, but it was like nothing to transform into another shape and form. So death and transformation, that's what that really is. How you experience it in a physical form is how y'all look at it is another way. But your dream is showing you when you experience in one dream, and then you just switch to another dream like it ain't nothing. Now you just actually experiencing that like ain't nothing, like it wasn't nothing, like you're not even considering that just happened. That's what death is. That's what transformation. You transform into another shape and form in the shapeless and formless realm, though, overall. So even though things may seem to be physical, they're not physical in that realm. Now when you're thinking about this, don't wake up, if you see a specific person or a specific thing, don't wake up and automatically think it's about them. Now, if you got a strong connection, sometimes it can be, but 9 times out of 10, that's not necessarily the case. That person just may spark a certain emotion in you, and then when you dream, that's the shape and form that it took in order for you to handle that whatever world you're in, aka whatever feelings you're in or emotions you're in. So that's what a dream is nothing more but astral traveling, and then astral projection. And then when you go through these experiences, that's astral traveling. So what is that? A dream is nothing more but your emotions and feelings. You living in your world. You living in your emotions and feelings in your astral realm, and you giving it the color and the shapes and the sounds and the shapes and forms and the lights of what you've been receiving. And what you've been receiving is the lights and the influences of the realm of reality that you are in. And if you are in the third dimension and you're in the realm of reality, the way these lights is influences, then the way you see this reality and how these shapes and forms is seen when you receive the light, that goes within you, and then within your dreams, right? Your dreams went through remember all the forms you was in. So you may even go through a feeling and emotion that you experienced in your last shape and form, in your last body. But that feeling and emotion that you got to handle, that you never handled in that life, you probably didn't even handle it in the life before that body, and you're not handling it in this life. When you dream in this life, it just may come into a shape and form of the reality that you're in when you're awake with these lights. But that feeling and emotion might be something that you've been needing to get over, even in the past bodies, that when it was coming to you in other shapes and forms. But in that body, the way in that dimension, and the way those lights was hitting, that realm of reality in the brain that you had in that dimension, the color, shapes, and forms may not be perceived the same way you perceive it here. So those be the dreams that really don't make sense. But a lot of times the dreams that make sense is the dreams that your spirit in the astral realm experience, and it takes the shape and form of the realm of reality you are in now. So the realm of reality you are in when you are awoke, the light that you are taking in is all the colors and the shapes and the information and the people you involved with in the yang realm. So it's going to take those shapes and form, but the feelings and emotions is what matters. Those don't matter. Now, so that's breaking down why. Now let's go into more depth why the people, places, and things don't matter, and just the feelings and emotions you in. Because I'm explaining that now, but let's go more in depth. Now, for the most part, the feeling and the emotion is what's actually you're living in. That's what's the dream. That's the astral world for you. So, for an example, when we talk about things like it's all about you, right? So if you got children and you dream about your children, don't wake up in the morning and be like, and call your children, or look at your child if you got a young child and be like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because it was about you. What you need to understand is you need to look at the frequency vibration. And that's spiritual truth. Remember how I told y'all how to separate the frequency vibrational truth with energy truth? The energy truth is all things non-physical and physical. That means the physical truth, the energy truth, has to be tied to law, language, time, history. You know what I'm saying? Lineage. Spiritual truth is tied to mystery, my story, mythology, mystical. You know what I'm saying? Mysticism. Shit like that. That's what spiritual truth is. Shit your soul can resonate with. So whether the shape and form, or the book, or whatever's in front of you, or the light, regardless of what shape and form that takes, and trying to play into your life like it's negative or positive, the ability for you to resonate and know if you need that in your life or not, that's the mist of it. The mystery of it. Spiritual truth. See what I'm saying? You got people who are lost in the physical energy truth and then spiritual truth. So I told y'all how to look at things in the spiritual truth, right? So when we looking at in your dream, if you have a dream about your child, that's the astral realm, that's the spirit realm. So right there, what is the actual frequency vibration of your child? What? Something you created. You created your child. You helped bring your child here. So your child is going to represent a form of creativity in your dream. So whatever circumstance that your child is doing in your dream is going to represent where your creativity, how your creativity is being expressed. So if you see your child getting killed or harmed or something like that, don't wake up and tell your child that. That's about your creativity dying. And whatever you're doing in your awake life, you're not applying no creativity to it, and you're dying as far as your creativity. Say you see your child prospering, or you see your child being happy or something like that. That's you in your awake life getting ready to experience some type of prosperity due to your creations, whatever you're creating, your creativity. And it could play out in your awake life as your child being successful also, if your child is taking on that energy signature, if your child is playing that part and trying to be successful. Whatever shape or form your child trying to be successful in is playing that frequency vibration of trying to be successful. So in your dream, if you witness that in your dream, you're witnessing that mist of energy being played around in your life in a certain way, shape, or form. So it may play out through your child, but if you have a young child or whatever like that, or things like that, or your child ain't doing nothing, 9 times out of 10 it's about you and your creative aspects. So whatever condition or whatever your child is doing, that's letting you know where your creative ability is in the wake life. So that's how you decipher dreams, understanding the frequency vibration of something, not the actual shape or form of it. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the people, places, and things matters none in the dream. They're just there to spark and be representations of what's needed to be taken care of. And that's the feelings you are in and the emotional world that you are in that you may need to overcome or learn about or gain some type of energy about and things of that nature. So let's get into some motherfucking dream interpretations right now so you can kind of break it down and go a little further. So let's talk about driving. So if you are in a car, so now in each dream there's a lot of different scenarios. You could be the driver, you know what I'm saying? You could be on a passenger side and you could be in the back seat. And then there's a lot of things that can happen. You can get into a car accident, or y'all can drive somewhere y'all always wanted to go and things of that nature. So let's break this down. What is this dream meaning? What does this mean if you have this dream? Now, if you have a dream that you are in a car, this means you are in some type of circumstance or a situation in your awake life. So that's the only reason you would dream if you're in a car. Now, if you are the driver, that means you are in control of that circumstance or situation. So that means you're steering that situation. So whatever the situation is in your wake life, you're in control of it, whether you know it or not. Your dream is if you're the driver in your dream is letting you know you're in control of it. So if you're waiting on somebody else in your awake life to take some type of responsibility that you're in control of, if your dream if you dream and you're the driver, it's telling you that you shouldn't be waiting for that person. Take control, because you're in the actual aspect of that situation. You're the driver, and if you wait on this person to take control, y'all may crash. That's you not saying Jesus take the wheel or something like that. That's you letting go of the wheel. Now, if you're on the passenger side, that means you are participating in a circumstance or a situation with someone else. You are aligning yourself with it. You are a part of it. So you may not be necessarily the driver and steering the situation, and the situation may not even necessarily have fully to do with you, but you're willing to make yourself a part of it and give your input, your 2 cents, give your direction. You are a part of it. Now, if you are in the back seat, this means you just the observer. So you ain't even playing part, or you ain't in control. You're just following. You see what I'm saying? You're being a follower. And if you're in the back seat any time of a dream, that means you're following something in your awake life. Now, for the most part, say y'all get into a car accident. If you the driver, that means in your dream, in your awake life, whatever situation you're in control of, and the people that's in the car with you, you're going to be the reason why it fucked up and why the situation went bad. If you are on the passenger side, driver in your dream, and y'all crash, then that means you gonna give somebody the wrong direction or give somebody the wrong idea and make situations worse and things of that nature. Whatever you are into. You know what I'm saying? Putting in your 2 cents and shit. And if you are in the back seat, you just alone for the motherfucking crash. You following other motherfuckers down a bad end. You following other motherfuckers to a bad territory and shit like that. So that's the spiritual meaning when we talk about anytime you in a car. You see what I'm saying? Now let's talk about arguing dreams. If you're arguing, now like I say, your dreams is all about you. So if you're in a dream and you arguing with somebody, this means in your wake life, you're going through circumstances and situations where you're upset at how others may look at you, or how a specific person may look at you, and there may not be a situation for you to express yourself that way or change it. You can't change their mind in no way, shape, and form. So you end up having dreams where you're arguing with certain people. So you may be arguing in your dream with the person you're in a relationship with. Try not to wake up and look at the person you're in a relationship, because it may not even be that. It may be somebody at your job, or somebody who think you do a bullshit job, and no matter how hard you work, you can't change their mind. So in your dream, it may just come to you as your partner or your child or something like that, or if you don't have children, your parents or your cousins, it may just come to you like that, because that person may spark a representation of how to relate to somebody. But if the feeling and emotion that you're going through is arguing with them, then that's what actually matters, not the actual person. It's just this person may be a person that's close to you enough in your awake life that they can take that shape and form in your dream as a person you arguing with. So try not to wake up and be like, hey, cousin, you know, I had a dream and we was arguing and shit and I almost killed you. It may not got nothing to do with that. It may got something to do with somebody at your job may think you do a bullshit ass job, and no matter what you do, you can't change their mind, and you know that. And you know they fucking with you and shit, so it may play out in your dream as you arguing with any or anybody. You see what I'm saying? So that's what the spiritual meaning when you got arguing dreams. You know what I'm saying? So try not to wake up. That's being too lost in the physical, too lost in this illusion. When you wake up and take that out on the actual person. You got a lot of people who are in relationships now, and since you sleep with this person every day, of course that's going to be the first shape and form that take forms in your dreams a lot of times, because you're seeing this person taking in that light of that shape and form of this person every goddamn day. So whatever you're going through in your life, that person may be the main representation that sparked that. So don't wake up and be like, motherfucker, I had a dream you was cheating. Motherfucker, I'm gonna slap your ass upside the fucking head. It might not got nothing to do with that. You see what I'm saying? This is why you need to watch Archangel Uriel videos. See what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about sex dreams. Now, sex dreams, what this means right here is you have a lot of pent up energy. Now, sex doesn't necessarily mean sex in your awake life. It's just any kind of pleasure. It may be something that you want to do or somewhere you want to go, and you just it takes you in your maximum pleasure, but you didn't have a chance to get there. Say you may got a job or you got certain responsibilities that you got to take care of first, so you have to plan. Say you want to plan on a vacation, so you think about this vacation every day. It's on your mind and shit like that, so it's a pleasure on your mind, but you got to plan it. So you plan it like 3 months ahead because you want to get this much amount of paychecks and save this amount of much. So that might even be the issue. But in your dream, it may play out as having sex a lot of times. Now, so that means it's just pent up, pleasurable energy that needs to be released. So even if you are in a situation where you haven't had sex in a long time, it could play out like that also. Or it could play out in your when you have sex in your dreams. That means in your awake life, you may lust for someone or lust for something. Doesn't necessarily have to be a person. You could like motherfucking cheesecake. If you lust for it in that pleasurable way, you can have a dream, and it could come to you and by you having sex with your partner or something like that, or whatever like that. But it's just you needing to, or you having a wet dream or something like that. It's you having too much pent up energy of that, and that not being experienced. So it's gonna release in some way, shape, and form, and then do it in your dreams, because everything is dealing with expansion and contraction. You know what I'm saying? Now, dreams of being crippled. So if you got crutches in your dreams or being in a wheelchair in your dreams, now it could go vice versa. You could be the one crippled or sick or in a wheelchair, or you could witness someone else struggling or need help, and you got to lift your hand up or something like that. These kind of, now when you're crippled, here's the frequency, vibration, and the spiritual meaning to this means that you're in a situation where you're being a crutch. I mean, you're utilizing somebody else as a crutch. You're utilizing a person, place, or thing as a crutch, and you need to learn how to take more responsibility on yourself. Let me put this over here real quick. But you need to learn how to put more responsibility on yourself. Or if you witnessing someone else in a wheelchair or someone else on crutches or someone, then you're being used as a crutch, and you got a person, place, or thing in your life that's leaning on your shoulders, leaning on you as far as a responsibility and things of that nature. So keep that in mind also. You know what I'm saying? Now, what else did I write down? Okay, let's talk about nightmare dreams. Now, nightmare dreams means you're either running or avoiding a circumstance or a situation in your life. And the reason why it's a nightmare is because whatever you're running away from or whatever you're avoiding or responsibility that you're not handling, it's taking the shape and form. It's taking the shape and form of whatever you're into, like whatever dream you into, whatever I mean not dream, but whatever cartoon you watch, whatever movie you into, whatever sitcom you're into, like whatever you are into on a day-to-day basis, especially if you into like a whole bunch of mysticism type movies and shit like that, and you're into aliens and shit like that, then your problems in your wake life is going to play out like that. It's going to play out like a dungeon dragon or something you are afraid of. Whatever you or not even shit you just afraid of. Maybe you might watch Love and Hip Hop every day in your goddamn life, or Empire, right? So say you running from a certain circumstance or situation. Say it might be a situation you keep running from because your ass keep running to run home and watch Empire, and you keep avoiding someone or a person, place, or thing, right? In your motherfucking dreams, you may see motherfucking Lucius, or you may see Cookie or somebody, and then they motherfucking might put a gun to your motherfucking head, or you might get Lucius cussing your motherfucking ass out in your motherfucking dream. Then your ass wake up like, oh damn, I was in Empire and Lucius cussing my ass out, and it made me feel like I wasn't doing something. Yeah, your ass ain't taking care of a certain circumstance or situation in your life. And you're not even correlating the two, because you're separating and you're lost in the physical, because you're running away from that to watch Empire, so you're not even seeing how they mix and mingle in your dreams. You see what I'm saying? So that's how that play out. Now let's talk about flying dreams. Flying dreams. Now flying dreams means you're either getting ready to, or you have already experienced or accomplished a goal or something that you've been wanting to do. It don't matter if it's something little or something big. You might just want to, it might be something little. You might be wanting to get over on somebody or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Some situation like that. When you accomplish that, you could experience dreams of flying. Or anytime you overcame something, you know what I'm saying, and or anytime, say you went through a new experience. Say you always wanted to go to Disney World or something like that, or you always wanted to get this job and you just got it, and you got it already, or you always wanted to go to Disney World and then you went there already. You experienced it. Then in your dreams you will be able to experience flying, but you don't experience flying when it's something you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't experience it. So you're not going to experience taking off. So a lot of times, say you got such a strong dream, a strong imagination that you just know a work. You know a work. A lot of times you experience dreams of gliding or jumping, but like slowly coming back down to the ground, or jumping real high and coming back down and being scared that you're going to fall, but when you hit the ground, it don't hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's having high aims, but not necessarily reaching it yet. Or you seeing examples in your awake life of you being able to succeed and you getting little pieces of it, but not fully the full potential of it, or not fully upholding it and fully going through with that experience. That's the only way you'll fully be able to fully fly without gliding or having to sustain yourself, you know. So that's when you fly in your dreams. Now let's talk about trapped. When you're trapped in a dream. So like I said, your dream is going to play out into the shape and form of whatever you're into in your awake life. So if you heavy into mysticism, or if you're into a lot of movies, or you're into a lot of TV, or even if you're into a lot of religion or spirituality, these are the shapes and forms it's going to take. But that's not actually what's happening with your spirit. What's happening with your spirit is what you're doing in your awake life. So for an example, if you have a dream about being trapped in any way, shape, or form, that means in your awake life you're in some type of responsibility or some type of obligation. And this obligation may not even necessarily be all the way yours. It's something that you attaching to yourself, you bringing along, you picking up onto your shoulders. And a lot of times it may be other people's problems that you don't necessarily be involved in, but you take the challenge, you take on a job. But a lot of times it's just stuff that you place yourself in, obligations, stuff that you obligate and stuff that you're responsible for, that your spirit feel like you shouldn't necessarily be responsible for. So your spirit, when you dream, you might dream about being in a trap. Now, whatever trap you in and how it look and whatever the trap is going to consist of whatever your mind is always on when you wake. So say your mind is always on movies and stuff. Then it may be a movie that you watch. The dream that you have, it may have something to do with that movie, but you may be trapped in a scenario in that movie. Say you in some type of religion, right? Your dream that you might be trapped in some type of hell, or you may be trapped in some type of dark place, and that's how it comes to you. Say you an atheist and you ain't into nothing. You may have a dream about being kidnapped and somebody throwing you in a trunk and you trapped. But these scenarios is just what you living in your dream. But what this means is your spirit is trying to let you know that you're trapped in some way, shape, or form in your awake life. So you may have some responsibility or some type of obligation due to a person, place, or thing that's in your life that make you feel like you're obligated, and this obligation stress you out from time to time. It may frustrate you from time to time. So in your dream, your spirit gonna let you know. And the worser the dream it is the more your spirit letting you know you need to escape. And the lighter it is is letting you know that the dream can become worse, or the shape and form in the external realm can become more heavy, more dense, more experiences, more harshness, and then it play out in your dream as you may get in handcuffs, or you may be trapped in whatever you into, but you end up escaping, or you end up not being trapped. The dream switches. That's letting you know that, okay, it's gonna get ready to get worse, and these are signs. And if your ass ain't seeing the signs in the wake life, then your ass gonna end up having a nightmare. And that's what it's basically telling you. So, you know, that's just a basic, and it's more than that. You got dreams when you in school. I always had these dreams. Now, it's a bunch of different scenarios that you can have that. A school is learning. Because you know in your awake life, when you got to go to school, that's dealing with learning. So anytime you dream about being in a school or something like that, that means in your awake life, you're either learning or having to learn something, or getting ready to experience something that you have to extract some wisdom and knowledge from and put some new meaning and reasoning to. Say you're skipping school. Skipping school means you're skipping a responsibility, or you're skipping something that you know you should learn. So it's something that you keep doing that your wake life showing you that, look, this is stupid, but you keep doing the same thing and laughing about it and shit like that. You're gonna have dreams about skipping class and skipping school. Say you got times where you in school where say you're skipping class and you don't get in trouble for it. Like, you skipping class and people don't even care. You got hall monitor passes, or you're just skipping class and you're not even receiving no repercussions from it. It's like normal. This means that you're learning, but you don't have to be taught nothing. You can actually just observe other people getting taught. You already learned that. You already took that test. You already was in that classroom. So you can just walk past it and be like, I ain't got to go there today. So that means you have a lot to offer. That means you got something to teach others. You know what I'm saying? Say you a class pet, a teacher's pet, whatever like that. That means a teacher's pet means as a person you're favorable. So you learn easy, you learn faster than others, and whatever intellectual property learn that concept that you're learning in the awake life, and your spirit life is showing you that you're doing the right things, like good grades and things of that nature. So that means that whatever you're into, you're doing the right thing. That's showing you that whatever you're trying to learn, or whatever you're trying to do, whatever job you're trying to get, you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing, and things of that nature. But it's a lot of different scenarios when we talk about school and shit like that. Because life is a school. This world, life is a movie, but it's a movie about being at school. That's the whole world. And so when you look at the galaxy, that's like the director job. The director job creates stars to play the role and play out that role. So a lot of times a person, the spirit that's in that star, can get lost in that role, can get lost into that light, into all the limelight, and get all the attention of all the lesser stars, and give this all this attention, and then it start getting pulled into the directions of where the other stars want it to go, and what roles it wanted to play. And once the spirit in that star get frustrated because it doesn't want to be in these directions and want to be seen in this way no more, then it no longer wants to play that part. So the galaxy make another star, and this star get pushed off in somewhere and lose all the lights and information and the prosperity and shit like that in the direction. So that's what directors do, and that's what stars do. And then you got co-stars, which is planets. They supporting cast. They the supporting cast. So the more better the supporting cast is, the better the movie will be, right? But this movie is about you being at school and you learning. And once you learn and go to different classes, you go to all your 12 classes, the 12 houses, you know what I'm saying? And you understand, and then within these 12 houses, there's a lot of other classes and shit like that you learn, and you don't have to go to other classes no more. You can walk past them, and, you know, you're just learning the levels of life, basically. So, life is a movie about school. And the better you learn and graduate from your courses, then you could become a teacher, or your ass can just go to college and get a job and sustain yourself in this world. And I'm not talking about the physical world. I'm talking about the spiritual world in that school. And then your ass have a sustainable life in the astral realm. You know, so therefore, whatever shapes and forms you taken, you will be some form of authority figure in that realm of reality. So say you come into a physical realm, say you got that kind of spirit, you come into a physical realm of reality. Your ass could be like Assad. You ever seen DJ Khaled, son? Motherfucker don't never cry, and motherfucker look like he aware, and He already rich. He already got all the fruits and labor and the prosperity and the milk and honey of that land, of that realm of reality. So depending on your spirit, the realm of reality you go in, it doesn't. You always got to be born into it, but you gonna have a level of consciousness no matter what age. And you could be the age of Assad and have all that shit, have all the prosperity and gold because your ass was learning already. See what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. And this is how you interpret dreams.